Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining this RAC DBA training demo. I hope my voice is clear. Let me know if you can hear me.
Yes, we are able to hear you.
Thanks. So let me introduce myself first. My name is Ankush Thavali. I'm the founder of Learnomate Technologies. We have different trainings available in our institute, including RAC database training. We have Oracle DBA training. Then we have Hadoop Spark training is there, which is related to the big data. We also provide a training on SQL Linux fundamental training, SQL PL SQL, and a lot of different trainings we provide online as well as offline. Offline training we have in Pune location, in Pune Wakad location. So those people who are coming from the Pune location, they can directly visit to our office. So this today we are all here to understand about the technology called Oracle RAC. So those people who want to understand this technology, I'm assuming that they already aware about the technology called Oracle DBA. They are already aware about the SQL, and most of the people who have already taken the training of Oracle DBA under me. So whenever you are showing more experience as a Oracle DBA, obviously initial career, when you want to start your career as a Oracle DBA, that time no one will ask you about the questions related to the RAC database. But as soon as your experience goes on increase, it's very important that you are mentioning about the RAC database also in your resume. And usually the people who are coming with some 2+, 3+ years of experience, it's good to have a knowledge about the RAC database training. Now who can learn about the RAC? Okay, so in order to understand about the RAC, your fundamentals of the Oracle DBA should be very much clear. And I would suggest you, like, if you are coming and joining for the first time, so first of all get train yourself with the Oracle DBA and then join the RAC database training. So let me share my screen and we'll discuss about the RAC database. We'll try to understand about the understanding of RAC DBA. Now, why we need this RAC system? Okay, why we need this RAC system? That is what we are going to learn initially. So we are calling it as a RAC, a real application cluster. So first of all, in our single instance database architecture, what happened, like, we had one server where there initially. Okay, we had a server, and on that server we were installing our Oracle database software, right? So it was creating our instance 1. Let's say this is my database 1, and this was creating my database instance 1, and this database instance was connected to the actual your database storage part. So whenever users are trying to connect, they will connect to the database instance, and this user will fire a command like, let's say, select star from table name. Let's say there is a user, he got connected to the database instance and he fired a command like select star from table name. That command was processed under this database instance level, because whenever you fire any command, that will get processed first. That process engine will be happening on the memory part. So this is the memory part, and finally when that query will be processed, it will fetch a data from your database only. So this is your database storage, where your actual data is available in the form of data files. Their data is available over here. So when you fire a command like select star from table name, you will get connected to the database instance, and database instance is getting connected to the database storage over here. But where this database instance is available? This database instance is available on particular server, right? So some people are calling it as server, or you consider that it is a particular node or it is a machine. So we have this machine is there, on which machine we have a database instance which is up and running. Now if your server goes down, okay, now the problem is, if your server goes down, your database instance will also goes down, and then you will not be able to connect to your Oracle database. Now this query will not work, because your database instance is running on the server only, and there is a chances that this server can be goes down. Now if server goes down, your database instance will go down, and then your database connectivity with the database storage, it will also go down. Now it is a problem, right? Now if we are let's say this database instance is getting connected to the very critical application. Let's take example of banking system. Now you are going to the bank and you are trying to withdraw some amount by using this ATM, correct? And if your database server also goes down, okay, and then it will obviously shut down your database instance, you will not be able to withdraw the money. The transactions will not happen. And if any transaction is not happening, that is a loss for the business. If I want to take another example, let's say there is a company like Amazon, Flipkart, all these companies are having a lot of big sales will be there, like big billion day, all those sales will be there. Now when you are trying to purchase by using that Amazon application, let's say you got connected here to this Amazon application, you purchase something and you want to do some transaction, and then you need to make the payment also. And in order to make that payment, that database instance should be up and running. But what happened, unfortunately, the database server got crashed or database instance went down. So obviously your transaction will not happen. So when transaction is not happening, it is a loss for the Amazon or Flipkart, whatever applications you are using. So on that time, a very powerful technology which will come in the picture and which will provide you the high availability. So there are different high availability technologies are there. So whatever we discussed till now, this is a single instance architecture. In our Oracle DBA training also we discuss about the single instance architecture, because we have single instance which is connected to the database. Now in order to provide the high availability, Oracle have come up with the different approach, like we are discussing about the RAC, real application cluster. You may have heard about the technology like data guard environment, and likewise multiple other technologies are also there. So in this training we are going to focus on RAC part only, RAC. So real application cluster. Now what is meant by cluster? So many people may have a question like, what is meant by cluster first of all? So cluster means you have a multiple machines will be there. Let's say I have a machine number 1. So whenever I say a machine, you consider that it is a server. Whenever I say a node, you consider that it is a machine. It is a same thing only. So let's say I have a node 1. I have another machine is there, which is node 2. I have one more machine is there, which is my node 3. So this is a 3 node. There are 3 different machines are there, and server will have their own processors, own CPU, own storage will be there, own memory will be there. This particular node will also have their own CPU, storage, memory. This particular node will also have their respective CPU, storage and memory part. Everything is allocated over here. But these are the 3 different machines are there. 3 different machine means 3 physically separated machines are there. But by using some software, like we called it as a grid software, or we called it as a cluster-based software, we can connect this machine internally to each other by using some of the software like clusterware software. I'm just taking one example. There can be different softwares also. So by using this software mechanism, we can connect all this machine and consider a single machine. We can consider a single machine, and these three machine, even though they are three different machine, but they will behave like a single machine, and that is what we called it as a cluster. That is what we called it as a cluster. So a cluster can be of your Oracle also, cluster can be of your Hadoop also, a cluster can be of any technology. Plus cluster is cluster. Cluster means when you have a multiple machines are there, but all that multiple machines behave like a single machine, we called it as a cluster. And in this particular training, we are going to discuss about the Oracle cluster. So Oracle cluster means which is your Oracle RAC. So along with this high availability, it is also provide you a features like load balancing. So previously what was happening when I was using a single instance architecture, let's say this is my memory, this is my server, and on this server my database instance is up and running. So my users will be connected over here, right? All my users, let's say user 1, user 2, user 3, all my users are connected to this particular database instance. So we understood about the problem that like if my server goes down or if my database goes down, this is gone. This application will not at all work, right? This application will not at all work, because application at the end, if they want to store some data, they need a database instance to be up and running. One more problem is that when you are using single instance architecture, all my users will at the end connected to this particular instance only, single instance only, this instance only. Let's say user 1 is coming, he will connect here. User 2 is coming, he will connect here. User 4 will connect here only. So all my users, when these users are coming and they are connecting to the database instance, they will definitely run some of the SQL jobs. Maybe user 1 is running one SQL job, another SQL, he is running update, he is running insert, and whenever any SQL job is running, it will consume your CPU, memory, storage, network, all these things will be consumed, right? But from where? It will consume from this database system only, because everyone is connecting to the single database only. So what we can do by using this RAC, a load balancing is also possible. Load balancing means one user will connect to the one instance, another user will connect to the another instance. How it is possible? Let's take an example that I'm going to set up my 2-node rack setup. 2-node rack means there will be 2 machines will be there. Let's say this is my node 1, which is my running from here, or I'll mention that node 1 here. Let's say this is my node 2, which is running from here. Can I have a system in a such way that I have a 2 machines are there, node 1 and node 2. My instance 1 is running from node 1. Let's say my instance 1, I'll mention that I1 is running from here, which is my database instance. My instance 2 is running from node 2, which is my database instance. But at the end, they are connected to the single storage. They are connected to the single storage here, and they are connected to the single storage means a single database over here. So if you see this architecture, what you understand from here that we have a 2 nodes are there. On this 2 node, my one database instance 1 is running from node 1, database instance is running from node 2, and both the instances are connected to a single database, and this is my shared storage. This is my shared storage. So in instance level, we never store a data, right? Because instance is basically a memory part, which is mainly useful for the processing purpose. So when user one is coming and he is saying that, boss, I want to create a table. He is saying that create table name. Let's say he is saying that I want to create a table. He will get connected to the instance one from the node one, assuming that he got connected from the node one. That table will be created over here only under the database storage, which is a shared in between your node 1 and node 2. This is a shared area. Now when user 1 is creating a table from node 1, user 2 will connect from the node 2. User 2 can connect from the another node also. And he is saying that I want to insert a data to the same T1 table. Now user 2 is going to connect from the node 2 and he is going to insert a data into that particular node 2. Next thing, there is a chances that user 3 is coming from the node 1 and then he is again trying to select a data, select star from the same table, provided all the users have respective privileges. So what we understood from here that a user can connect from any particular node. So when users like user 1 and user 2 is coming from different node, when user is connecting from the node 1, he is consuming the resources of this particular node because this node have their own CPU, own memory, own storage. This particular node have their own CPU, own memory and own storage also. So when user 1 is connecting from node 1, he will consume the resources from the node 1 only, not from the node 2. And when user 2 is inserting a data, because when you're inserting something, it will definitely consume a resources. So basically what you can see that it is a load balancing. Load balancing means there is not a load, there is not high load on a single node. Your load is getting distributed among the different node. Some users are connecting from node 1, some users are connecting from the node 2. The people are connecting from the different node. And one more good thing about the RAC is, by any chance, if this node, particular node, there are two problems I have told you in the single instance architecture. One problem I told you, if this particular instance goes down, your database will also goes down in the single instance architecture. But here what happen, if your instance 1 or node itself goes down, this particular node 1 goes down, still user can connect from the node 2. The user can connect from the node 2 because node 2 is up and running. And node 2 is also connected to the same shared storage. So whatever you are going to store into this particular shared area, which is a database area, it is common in between instance 1 and instance 2 because it is a shared storage. And for shared storage, we are going to use a technology called ASM. So if you are creating a table from if you are creating a T1 table from instance 1, from node 1, you can access that table from the node 2. Even you can access it from the node 3 also. Let's say you have a 3 node cluster is there. So what problem we were facing in single instance architecture? If your instance goes down from node 1, still people can connect from the node 2. So they have given the solution. The people can connect from the available node and the available instance. Second thing is load balancing, which is again a very powerful technology provided by the RAC. Load balancing means all users will never get connected from the single node. The users will connect, the users request is getting distributed among the different node. So some user will come from node 1, some user will come from node 2. And even you can customize this where you want to make the connections. But if you don't want to make it, there is a technology, there are the way the users will check where the less load is there. Let's say I have 100 connections are here, and here I have 30 connections. So it will make the connection from node 2. Next connection will come from the node 2, because here we have less number of connections are there. And that's how the performance of your particular node, the performance of your database is keep on increasing. So it is giving you high performance compared to the single instance architecture also. But one thing is very important, that whenever you are dealing with the good features, it is not coming free of cost, correct? Whenever you are dealing with something good in the market, nothing is coming in the free of cost. So previously there were only one machine was there. There were only one machine. Now you can see that there are two machines are there. There are two machines are there. Now one machine, if it is costing around, I'm just taking some simple example, $1,000, you need to purchase two machines now, which is of $1,000, because there are two machines are there. Two machines have their two set of processes, two set of memory, two set of everything is double. The costing is double. So whenever you're working as a Oracle DBA, don't consider that all of your servers will be on the top of RAC cluster. There may be some of the applications, there may be some of the critical applications on which RAC setup is important, and for that you are going to configure a RAC. You are going to configure a RAC. So don't consider that all the projects will have a RAC also. Many times people are asking the questions about the RAC in the interview, but as soon as you enter into that project, you will find that okay, there is no RAC itself. This is happening many times. Many of my students are saying the stories. But in order to go inside the company, the people are expecting that you should know the concept of RAC, what is RAC, how it works, and everything. So can you please use the comment section and say me whether you are able to understand all the technical questions. We will take it from tomorrow. Today we'll have just introduction calls. So can you please use the chat section of the Zoom and say me whether you're able to understand the RAC till now, whatever we discuss. So I see yes. Okay.
Ankush, which version of Oracle RAC you are going to train us?
19C.
19C. Okay.
Is it similar to 12C also, by? Actually, we are working on 12C.
12C and 19C both are same.
Okay.
Both are multi-threaded architecture, so
Yeah.
that's not a problem.
Okay. Thank you.
So I see everyone is saying yes. Okay. Now let's try to understand some little inside of the Oracle RAC. So what will happen? Let's say I have this two node RAC is there. So we have a node 1 and we have node 2 is there. Let's say this is my node 1. I'm writing down the node 1 here, and this is my node 2. Now what are all things we required for the RAC installation? Okay, what are all things we required for the RAC installation? So basically, when I want to connect to these two particular machine like node 1 and node 2, I need one database, right? But before the database, both the machine will behave like a cluster, node 1 and node 2. They should be connected in a such way that they are behaving like a cluster. For that, Oracle is providing a software, we called it as a grid software. By using this grid software, there are two things you are getting by using this grid software. One is your cluster based software, which is making both the nodes behave like a single machine. And second is it is giving you a storage solution. We called it as ASM, which provide you a shared storage, shared storage. So for the Oracle RAC installation, we need to have one more software is there. We called it as a grid software. Even though if you are not using RAC, and if you just want ASM, still we need to use grid software. So many people are thinking that like for RAC, maybe we need to use some different software. So this is a grid software which will provide you the clusterware solution as well as a storage solution called ASM. Now on this node 1 and node 2, let's say I am using a 2-node RAC. We can have multiple nodes also. That's not a problem. Okay. So I'm going to install my grid software over here. Grid software I'm going to install on node 1. Same grid software I'm going to install on node 2 also. I'm going to install on grid software on node 2 also. So let's say I'm going to install grid software here, and same grid software I'm going to install on node 2. Once the grid software installation is completed, we will get ASM. Okay. So this is a storage part, which is my ASM part. But what are you going to store inside this ASM? We are going to store inside ASM, which is my shared. This ASM is shared from the node 1 as well as from the node 2. Both are connected to this is a ASM part. So in this ASM, I'm going to store my all database related files. Like we have database related files, like I'm going to store my SP file, control files, data files. Everything will be stored inside this ASM. But for that, we need to install your Oracle database software, right? So I'm going to install my database software here on node 1, and same software I'm going to install on node 2 here. So we have a database software. We are going to use Oracle 19c. So 19c software I'm going to install here and install here. This particular database software will give me a database instance. So my database instance 1 are running from node 1, and instance 2, which is my database instance, will run from the here. But there is one more software, there is one more instance which will be running from node 1 and node 2. Along with this database instance, there is one more instance which is running from node 1 and node 2, because we are using a grid software. And that we called it as a ASM instance. So ASM instance 1, so you can consider that plus ASM 1 is running from node 1, and ASM instance is running from the node 2. ASM 2 will run from the node 2. And now this database instance will be connected to the particular application, whatever application you want to connect, it will be connected like this. So what we saw through this architecture is we need to install two softwares here. One is a grid software, which will provide you the ASM instance, a shared storage. Again, we are going to install this database software on both the side, on node 1 and node 2. We need to install it on both the side, node 1 and node 2, which will provide me a database instance 1 and instance 2. So instance 1 will be running from node 1, instance 2 will be running from node 2. There are two instances, you will find it here. One is your ASM instance, so ASM 1 and ASM 2. Another is database instance 1, database instance 2. And both the instances will be running from their respective nodes. And even though they are two different machines, node 1 and node 2, they are connected to the single storage, which is a shared storage. We called it as a ASM storage, which will store my database related files like SP file, control files, data files, archive logs, whatever you want to store, you are going to store it over there in your storage part. But how these people are connecting to each other, like node 1 and node 2, how they are going to communicate to each other? Okay, they are communicating to each other by using a network called private network. We are going to establish one private network in between your node 1 and node 2. in between your node 1 and node 2, we are going to set up one private network. And when you want to take the connectivity of this, like SSH connectivity of node 1 and node 2, we need to assign one more IP address or public network we need to set here. So we are going to assign one public IP to this machine, and we are going to assign public IP to this particular machine. So internally they are communicating, like your node 1 and node 2 will communicate to each other by using the private network. But in order to take the connectivity, because to this machine you are going to connect by using PuTTY, right? You are going to connect by using PuTTY or MOBEX term. We need to assign one public IP address. So we need to assign one public IP address over here, so that we can take the connectivity from the outside. So we will have public IP address, we will have private IP address, and there are some other network things are also available which are related to the scan IPs, scan IP, VIP, that I will discuss in the next lecture. This is mainly related to the user connectivity, like how users are getting connected, and all of your users will connected by using a scan listener. And that is the reason, the load balancing will happen in the rack. So that I will discuss in the next lecture. So far, like this is how your Oracle rack is going to be happen. Now what we are going to cover with this course is, okay, let me give some highlights to you. So we are going to take this Oracle 19C, the version will be Oracle 19C. We are going to set up 2-node rack. For the practice purpose, you need to use your personal system only. We have a lab access also available, but lab access will be paid. It will be costing around 2000 rupees per month. Okay, but for lab access, if you don't want to use lab access, that's okay. We need to use a personal system on which we are going to set up this 2-node rack. In order to set up this 2-node rack, we need minimum 16 GB of RAM to be available on your personal laptop. Then only we can do the setup of your rack, because rack is like at least 2 machines will run, right, at a time. So the amount of memory required is like quite huge compared to the single database instance, because in single database instance we were starting only 1 machine, but for rack we need to start minimum 2 machines. So in the rack, we are going to discuss about how the installation architecture part, okay, installation part is there, architecture part is there, and all of the details I have mentioned here in our website only. So you can go here, visit to our website, and here you can see in the training section there is a RAC DBA syllabus is mentioned. So overall we are going to discuss about the like how to install your Oracle database, what is clusterware and all those things, grid infrastructure installation. We are going to discuss about the ASM also, what is ASM, how to create ASM, the installation of your ASM, how to add a ASM disk, how to create a ASM disk group. We are going to discuss about multi-tenant architecture also, like container database, pluggable database, all those architecture we are going to discuss. We will discuss about how to take the backup of your RAC database, managing the cluster, like how to add a new cluster, how to add a new node, delete a new node. We'll discuss about the patching activity. There are different type of patches are there. We'll discuss about the OPatch auto, OPatch utility, all those we'll discuss. So let me know guys if you have any questions, anything. We'll discuss about the rack to rack cloning and upgradation part also, like how to upgrade your rack from Oracle 12C to 19C. So if you have any question related to the training specific, let me know. The training will be available from Monday to Thursday. Okay, the timing is 6 to 7 or 7:30 depending on the topics. Okay, so I'm considering 7 p.m. actually IST timing. Okay, and the fees for the training is 14,999, or in USD dollar it is $250. Yes, please.
So you don't have any weekend batches, Saturday, Sunday?
Weekend batches we have, but for RAC we don't have right now. We have for like Oracle DBA we have.
Yeah, because for working professional, working days are little bit difficult to.
I know that, but weekend is problem is like it's taking too much time to cover, because rack is like if you just start the rack machine itself, now the 15 minutes will go. So it's very difficult. We tried that last time. We got a good response also, but the problem is like only 2 days we'll get, right? And
Yeah, 2 days if you take roughly three hours also.
Ah, I do understand, but sometimes like we'll get some personal work. Let's see, but right now, like I don't have any plan. But this right now we have this timing only. Maybe in future we'll see.
Mhm. Apart from this, that means you are going to teach little bit on virtualization also, because on single laptop you are creating two nodes and all those things. So are you going to touch some virtualization concept?
Basically, we are going to use virtualization machine only. We are going to use VMware workstation. You can VMware. This is a virtual machine actually. We are going to use virtual box. Okay, and like this you can see node 1 and node 2, there are two machines are there. Okay, so this is coming under the virtualization only. So there are two softwares are there. One is a Oracle VM virtual box, another software called VMware workstation. Both the softwares are helping you to create your a particular instance, like you can create multiple machines over there.
Okay, and what is the duration of this course?
It will take more than 1 month.
1 month.
More than 1 month, minimum 1 month, I'm saying.
Okay, and it is totally online, or we can. I am from Pune, so we can meet personally face to face. And I want to have a lab practice in your guidance, under your guidance, because anyway anyone can do by using learning YouTube and all those things, but that doesn't make that impact.
Actually, what happened, like Saturday Sunday we are giving only for offline classes only. See, what's our plan is like Monday to Friday, like people can join from anywhere, anytime. And all my offline batches are running on Saturday Sunday only Saturday Sunday. So if you have some colleagues who are coming with you, then we can take the offline class also, only offline. I don't mix offline and online. My Saturday Sunday offline classes are only offline. I'm not taking any online on that time.
No, my question, the thing is that I just asking is that only lab part I want to do under your guidance. Theoretical part is okay, we can do online.
No, actually here everything is practically only. You will not find a single day where I will not take the practicals. Okay, so every day it will be a full of practicals. So let's say like daily I cannot come on your time, or maybe because other batches are also there. So whenever you have issues or anything you want to discuss, you can come to our office and we can discuss. That way we can try.
Okay, fine.
One more thing about the recording, as I get the so recording will be available for 3 months. It is a limited time. Okay, daily you will get the recording, but it is for the 3 months of access.
Okay, if you miss the class for due to any office work and all those things,
correct.
You can make use of recording.
You can use that.
Okay. Are you giving any training material also for this, or it's just standard?
All the documents will be, all the theoretical we are not providing, but whatever things like all the commands and everything will be documented, including your installation of Oracle RAC.
Yeah, any standard operating procedure. That means
everything
in what way you are going to set up the RAC.
So you can see this document for which we created, Oracle 19C, along with the screenshot. Everything is mentioned over here. So we will provide you such documents.
Okay.
Like this.
So from which date you are starting this batch? Coming Monday? Coming Monday.
Correct. We'll start as soon as possible. Like if I get, I already got all the admissions. I will take some few admissions, and in next 2-3 days I'll start.
Okay, fine.
I already got all the admissions. Here, most of my people are from my 99.99 people are from my Oracle DBA only.
Yeah.
Okay.
all,
Yeah,
all
that's
are
a good.
shifting here.
Yes.
See,
Yeah.
usually what happens now, if the class is offline, then obviously we can interact with other people and all those things. So it's a learning environment will be there. In
Right.
online mode, it little bit not that much thing will happen.
Yesterday only we have started one offline batch in Pune location. Uh, but that's
RAC?
not a RAC batch. That's a Oracle DBA batch.
No, I'm talking about only RAC batch because I am a core DBA, but I just want to have a exposure to RAC. That's it.
No, definitely we'll start like, see, problem is like offline I started recently. I started, I think, last 2 months back only. So still like in 2 months, I see a very good response for the offline. RAC we have not started till now, but as soon as we get more and more crowd, we'll start the RAC also. Even I want to start, personally, I like the offline because
Yeah,
it's a
because it's an
batch.
interaction and that the learning environment will be there. So it's a different kind of thing.
I will tell you one thing. I know that it's getting
We-
recorded, but I'll tell you the people who are coming in my class for offline in the morning, they are not at all leaving the class itself. They are going back in the night time only, even though I am not there. So they are sitting there only because we have everything is set up there. Like we have backup is there, like inverters and all everything. We have internet facilities. Everything is there. So they are enjoying there.
But if we take this class online, so do we have access to your lab or we need to pay for extra for that?
No, lab means like, see, basically lab means what I'm trying to say, um, like you need to have your own laptop. Okay, that is very important.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have laptop, then it's very difficult to do a practice. So we have cloud platform is there. Okay, but they are also paying, they are also taking a charges from me. That is the reason I'm asking for 2000 rupees per month. That is the reason, otherwise I would not have asked, because we need to call them, we need to get the 16 GB RAM for you, and it's very costly actually. So if you are looking for lab access, you need to pay the charges, or if you have laptop, then no need to pay charges, only the
Okay.
training fees.
Only one last question for you from my side is that installation of RAC on laptop or any server and installation of the same thing in a cloud. Are you going to take that part also, or it is different or same?
Cloud I'm not taking. The installation will be same actually, but yes, obviously some changes will be there, because when you are dealing with the installation on your virtual machine, you are doing everything here, like networking part you are handling the part of your server. We are going to install server also, but in real time server installation will be taken care by the server team, network part will be taken care by the network team. We are using virtualization, so that will be taken care by the virtualization team will be there. So different teams will come together and they will set up the rack setup is not like within a single day you will finish the rack, nothing like that in real time. Here you can take some 2-3 days and you can finish, but like it's a good fun here, because like it's like your hands are very free here in this machine, and it's a same to same. Okay, maybe some little bit changes will be there, but you'll definitely get the understanding about how it works in real time as soon as you get the opportunity.
Okay. And you are going to train this on Linux system or Windows?
Linux, Oracle Linux.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you.
I see all my old people only. Okay, I don't think so you have any questions then. Let me know guys if you have any questions, so we can discuss. Otherwise we'll see the next part. Okay.
Sir, I have a question here.
Yes.
So, with the softwares actually, which will be helping us to install on our laptop or personal machines actually. So, is that like, we need to download from our.
I'll show you how to download, how to install, everything will we are going to see practically. You just need to come up with the laptop and good internet. That's it. All the software part, installation part, everything we will take care.
Okay. Thanks.
So those people who are interested for the training, they can email us on info@learnomate.org, and you can WhatsApp us or call us also on +91.
Sir, I have a question here.
Yes, tell me.
Is it a demo class or else is it the first class actually?
You consider demo and first class. Here all my people are already paid. Premium people. All of my premium people. Oh, maybe few people
No,
are
already I have been registered actually.
okay.
So I'm in a perception like this is the first class.
You consider that it is a first class only.
Oh,
We
okay.
usually don't take demo, like very rarely.
Okay. So tomorrow it will get continued, right? At the same time.
Depend. Most probably I'll see. I'll take a decision today. Most probably I'll take tomorrow itself. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Because we already got all my admissions. So.
Okay. Thank you.
The good thing is, like, those people who are coming from my Oracle DBA, we already have some kind of repo, and so they will understand very clearly.
So hopefully the newcomers we will also have that.
Still
The
there is so much.
participants are students or they are working professionals?
No, they
yeah.
are working, all working.
Yeah,
They are
all
not kid anymore. They are already working.
Okay.
I just learned Oracle DBA from Ankush Bhai. I'm working as Oracle DBA and TCS right now.
Good.
Thank you.
So usually, like, all my people are coming from this Oracle DBA to RAC, and from RAC to GoldenGate. So
GoldenGate. Yes.
they're doing like that.
One more step, GoldenGate.
Don't worry, unless and until I will not take more money from you, I will not leave you.
Yeah. No issues on this. Reasonable price buy.
Okay, guys, then let me know if you have anything to discuss. So let's connect, okay, and let's start this RAC DBA training the way we have completed other trainings, okay, and we'll see it along with the practicals and everything. Okay.
Sure.
Thanks, guys. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.